Imagine living in a world where your happiness isn't tethered to the affection you receive from others, where the longing glances, the missed calls, and the thinking of you messages don't define your emotional state. This is not a tale from ancient history, but a reality you can live in today. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has stood the test of time, teaches us exactly that. It empowers us to find inner peace and happiness regardless of our external circumstances. But how does this relate to wanting someone to miss you? In the realm of love and relationships, we often find ourselves craving the attention and affection of others. We believe that this external validation is the key to our happiness. Yet, Stoicism introduces a counterintuitive approach. By focusing on self-improvement, fostering emotional independence, and appreciating the present moment without attachment, we inadvertently become more attractive and ironically more likely to be missed. In today's video, we dive deep into the Stoic way of living and loving. By embracing Stoic principles, we can not only enrich our own lives but also transform our relationships in unexpected ways. Stay with me as we explore how to make someone miss you not by playing games or strategizing every move, but by becoming a beacon of self-sufficiency and inner contentment. Number 1. Self-improvement over external validation. In our pursuit of happiness and fulfillment, it is very easy to fall into the trap of seeking external validation. We often measure our worth through the reactions, opinions, and attention we receive from others, especially in personal relationships. But what if I told you there is a more empowering and lasting path to happiness? The Stoic path teaches us to focus on what lies within our control, our thoughts, actions, and reactions. At the same time, we learn to accept what we cannot control, including the feelings and behaviors of others. This does not mean becoming indifferent or emotionless. Instead, it means recognizing that true contentment and self-worth come from within, not from someone else's approval. Think about it. When we base our happiness on whether someone misses us or desires us, we give away our power. We become dependent on their actions or their absence. This dependence creates emotional instability, like riding a roller coaster of expectations and disappointments. Stoicism offers us the tools to step off that ride. By cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation, we build a resilient character that finds joy in personal growth and self-achievement. This does not mean isolating ourselves or ignoring others. Stoicism does not advocate emotional detachment but emotional resilience. It encourages healthy relationships built on mutual respect and understanding, not on dependency or insecurity. Interestingly, when we prioritize self-improvement, we naturally become more attractive to others. People are drawn to individuals who are confident, passionate about their goals, and comfortable with themselves. Ironically, the less we focus on making someone miss us, the more likely it becomes because we are living authentically and fully. So let us shift our focus from seeking validation to nurturing our inner world. Invest time in learning new skills, exploring new interests, and deepening your understanding of who you truly are. This journey of self-improvement is fulfilling in itself. And at the same time, it makes you more admirable and, yes, more unforgettable in the eyes of others. Remember, Stoicism does not ask us to suppress our desires or deny our need for connection. Emotional resilience, according to Stoicism, is not about suppressing feelings or disconnecting from the world. Instead, it involves acknowledging our emotions, understanding them, and consciously deciding not to let them control our actions. The Stoics believed in focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. This is not only a strategy for inner peace, it is a roadmap to emotional strength. This independence doesn't mean isolation. On the contrary, It enables us to engage with the world from a place of strength and self-assurance. Consider the concept of emotional resilience in the context of relationships. Stoicism teaches us that while we can love and care for others, our happiness shouldn't hinge on their presence or approval. This perspective encourages us to build relationships on the foundation of mutual respect and genuine connection rather than dependency or fear of loneliness. By fostering emotional resilience, we become capable of enjoying deep, meaningful relationships without losing ourselves in them. Furthermore, Stoicism's emphasis on living according to nature, accepting life's ebb and flow, reinforces our emotional resilience. It reminds us that change is the only constant and that our ability to adapt to change is a measure of our strength. This adaptability does not come from passivity, but from actively engaging with our values, goals, and the pursuit of virtue. So how do we cultivate this independence and emotional resilience? It begins with self-awareness, regularly reflecting on our thoughts, emotions, and responses to life's challenges. It involves practicing gratitude, focusing on the present moment, and engaging in activities aligned with our core values. Most importantly, it requires us to challenge our perceptions by asking whether our emotional responses arise from present realities or outdated beliefs. In embracing Stoicism, we learn to navigate life's storms not by seeking shelter in others, but by becoming our own lighthouse. Number 3. Creating a meaningful life. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus frequently spoke about the importance of living in alignment with our nature and with the order of the universe. At its core, this means recognizing what truly matters in life and committing ourselves to it. For the Stoics, meaning does not lie in external success or the accumulation of wealth and recognition. Instead, it lies in cultivating virtue, wisdom, and integrity. It involves contributing to the common good, participating in community life, and building relationships based on respect and understanding. Creating a meaningful life, therefore, requires deep introspection. We must ask ourselves difficult questions about who we are and what we truly stand for. This process requires identifying our values and choosing to live according to them, even when doing so is difficult or when it would be easier to follow social expectations. Stoicism acts as a compass during this introspection. It urges us to examine not only our actions but also the intentions behind them. Are we acting from virtue or from a desire for approval and recognition? Stoicism also teaches us about the impermanence of external circumstances and the importance of focusing on what lies within our control. This perspective is liberating. It frees us from the exhausting attempt to control the uncontrollable and directs our energy toward what we truly influence: our attitudes, decisions, and responses. From this perspective, a meaningful life is less about what we achieve and more about how we live. Embracing Stoicism also means accepting that suffering and setbacks are natural aspects of human existence. Rather than seeing them as obstacles to happiness, we can view them as opportunities to develop resilience, wisdom, and compassion. This does not mean we seek suffering, but that we find meaning in overcoming it and learning from it. In daily life, meaning from actions rather than grand achievements. It is present in kindness toward others, in integrity at work, and in the passion we bring to our pursuits. It appears when we pause to appreciate nature, care for ourselves, and build meaningful connections. Together, these actions form the tapestry of a life well lived. The Stoic journey toward meaning is not meant to be walked alone. It is strengthened through shared wisdom and mutual support. Number 4. Letting go of the desire for control. The Stoics understood that much of our frustration, anxiety, and despair arises from trying to control what lies beyond our control. We spend enormous amounts of energy trying to shape circumstances, outcomes, and even other people's behavior. Yet much of life remains beyond our influence. Recognizing this truth is not meant to discourage us. Instead, it frees us from unrealistic expectations that bind us to disappointment. Letting go of control does not mean becoming passive observers of life. Rather, it means focusing our effort where it truly matters, our internal world. Within this space of thoughts, choices, and reactions, we possess genuine power. Here, we cultivate virtues such as patience, understanding, and resilience. Here, we discover peace. Letting go of control requires accepting the natural flow of events. It means recognizing the difference between our efforts and their outcomes. We can influence the effort we put forth, but the results are not always ours to command. This understanding does not diminish the value of effort. Instead, it places effort in a healthier perspective. When we align our actions with our values while releasing attachment to outcomes, we live more authentically. This Stoic principle encourages us to question our assumptions about success, security, and control. Often, we discover that our greatest strength lies not in controlling the external world, but in mastering our inner one. Practically speaking, letting go of control means cultivating flexibility and adaptability. It means facing uncertainty with courage and responding to life's challenges with calmness and wisdom. As we practice this principle, our relationships grow deeper, our stress diminishes, and our appreciation for the present moment increases. We begin to realize that control is not the path to happiness. Balance, acceptance, and inner harmony are. Letting go of the desire for control is not losing our power, it is reclaiming it in its most authentic form. It is a journey toward inner freedom. As we conclude our exploration of Stoicism and its timeless teachings, we see that this philosophy offers more than a set of ideas, it offers a way of living. Stoicism guides us to focus on what truly matters and to move through life's changing tides with calmness and wisdom. The principles we discussed today are not abstract theories. They are practical tools that can transform everyday life. Stoicism does not promise a life without difficulty. Instead, it offers something more valuable, the courage to face adversity, the wisdom to act with virtue, and the serenity to accept what cannot be changed. When we apply these principles, our understanding of happiness and success begins to shift. We discover that true fulfillment does not come from external recognition or possessions, but from living according to our deepest values. And in this realization lies the path to a life of meaning and joy. Thank you for joining me on this journey where ancient wisdom meets modern life. For more insights, I invite you to explore the suggested videos on your screen. Until next time, remember, the most important journey you will ever take is the journey inward.